What's good, everybody? We back with another Music Monday on this Monday, man. Y'all smash the like button, sub up to the channel if you haven't done so already. Of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones, and I normally make content about sneakers, occasional try-on hauls, and of course, this is Music Monday, a new segment we bought at the beginning of the year. I believe Dunks may just be working a little late today, but salutes to Dunks. If he comes in on the live, I'll add him in. Y'all already know how the kid do, man. So definitely smash the like button, sub up to the channel, and of course, if you do like sneaker content, you are in the right place. But of course, y'all know I like to talk a little hip hop every now and then too. So this is what brought along Music Monday. So as y'all come in and out of this joint, smash the like button and sub up. Really goes a long way. Anyway, man, y'all see the topic, man. We talking Fetty Wap. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I couldn't have titled it anything, this is the best way I can really describe the whole situation. Fetty Wap at one point was like one of the biggest hip hop artists at the time. He's kind of one of those, I didn't even want to call him a one-hit wonder because, to be honest, when Fetty Wap first came out, man, he was swinging out the gate with like nothing but hits, man. And reportedly, and this is out of his own mouth, and this is all alleged and opinionated based, but out of his own mouth, at one point he was making $100,000 a day. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I don't know if he was getting that show money or just in general. So Fetty Wap is kind of crazy how he goes from that to now he's looks like the feds, because his case got picked up by the feds. He's looking at like pretty much 9 years off of just slinging drugs. Now, how did he go from being the hottest rapper to like, moving weight allegedly? You know what I'm saying? And he has pled guilty to this, but again, I don't know the whole situation. I do want to go down the rabbit hole of pretty much Fetty Wap. That didn't sound right, pause, but y'all know what I mean. Let me see what we got in the building real quick. And of course, we're going to get this thing started. Like I said, if Dunks pops in and on this thing, I will definitely just add him in as we always do. We got No Hype in the building, says G. What up, No Hype? Sign up for that sold out Discord as well. I do have it pinned up at the top in the comment section. Sign up for that joint. It is free to sign up if you like sneakers and you just like just a general place to like kind of hang out, man. A lot of things goes down over there as well. It's been very active today, as it normally always is, especially when we get closer to sneaker drops, man. So sign up for the sold out Discord. It is pinned up in the top, man. So it looks like we got Manny with the kicks in the building, says Europe. Dang, not Big Zoo. I know, right? For the best of my knowledge, Fetty Wap is based out of New Jersey. I believe it was Patterson. I mean, he rapped his hood all the way, man. To be honest, he gave me like a classic, like really MC Hammer story, but I don't know if MC Hammer was, apparently pushing weight. I don't know. But at one point, it says MC Hammer had tried to put his whole neighborhood on and give them all jobs. And that's what people tend to do pretty much whenever they reach their, their fame, And this, I will say this, looks like Fetty took like accountability for whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, the man said at one point he saw $22 million in his own bank account. So, I mean, and that was over time. So, but he also admitted some of his faults, you know what I'm saying? At one point they said that he had over 30 people rolling with him at one time. You know what I'm saying? That's like my crew has always been extremely small. It's usually just me or me and Dunks. Most likely just me. I'm not moving alone, but I'm not with 30 people. I'm gonna just put it like that. Let's see. We got the Slayer in the building, says greetings, OGs. What up, Slayer? Got No Hype, says Manny with the salute. The Slayer sup fam. Manny got 85 salute. No Hype says gonna listen while lacing my fours up. Okay, cool, man. Definitely one thing about fours, if I've learned the hard way, if you haven't learned yet, them joints you can't wear fresh out the box. I got a pair of fours I need to like relace right now. In fact, I will say this, as much as I be hating on the Jordan 1s not coming lace, I'm not mad because I do get to lace them how I want to make them a little bit more comfortable. Point blank period, man. So, yeah, do your thing. Let's see. Man with the kick says Fetty fell off ever since chilling with 6ix9ine couple years ago. Really? I don't even remember him chilling with 6ix9ine though. But I ain't gonna blame it on 6ix9ine. I mean, we can blame it on a lot of things, man. Can we blame it on the labels for not giving these guys like they sign them and give all this money up front and they start making all. Think about it. And I'm not saying I don't know his whole background, which I do plan to dive on a little bit today as I read through some of these articles. But I will say this. If I wish Dunks was here so I can just bring up this argument as well, but this my thing that I was trying to get people to, and we was having this discussion in the sold out like Goodfellas section, right? And I know Manny, you kind of sided with Dunks, and I know Kwame kind of sided with me. You don't know what you're gonna do when that money right in front of you. Everybody gonna say like, man, if I was rapping, I wouldn't get caught in that situation. You say that until like, you gonna know they gonna put that paperwork in front of you, and sure they're gonna say take all the time you need, but a lot of that stuff, unless you're just in like a business major and you just happen to know about business, a lot of that stuff you're not gonna know what that means, and half of them are gonna tell you like, this is the standard and what everybody gets, especially if you're going to a label that has already, like, say if you go to a label that has somebody like Cardi B in them, like, you getting the same deal as them, if not better, to be honest. I guarantee you they wish they had this deal. They're going to use a play on words to these artists. And I'm going to put it this way. I think his deal, once he signed the joint, maybe he got, I say worst case scenario, if he got 100,000 up front, even if you got $1 million, I remember Dame Dash even broke down, even if you sign $1 million deal and get $1 million advance, you gonna have to pay that money. The label gonna want that money back. It's not yours because you're just that high. It is, but they want you to pretty much, so you can get yourself in a better situation, but you gonna have to, but they don't give you the game on where to invest it or how to invest it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when that stuff take off, it could be overnight. It seems like sometimes these artists, we hear about them popping the next day whenever they literally they just put the song out. It can happen that fast. So you don't know what you're going to do when that money is presented in front of your face. And that's what I be trying to tell people. You say like, man, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't put on a dress. You say that, but everybody, I'm going to just say this. Everybody got a number when it comes to money. I don't care who you is. Everybody got a number. Like when it comes to money for what you want to do. I know what you're saying. I wouldn't stoop that low, but I'm just saying, if somebody got $50 million cash in front of your face for a 2-second embarrassment, and everybody, like I said, everybody got that level on how low they want to go. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. J. Roz with the salute. Manny says, Shoddy almost. The Slayer says, I remember Fetty from all the funny vines. I just remember that one time, low key, whenever he was riding the four-wheeler and he crashed right, he did like a little 360 spin and crashed right into the four-wheeler, and everybody was, yo, he must have been on his blind side. Everybody gonna crack a joke on this eye, man, but at least he kept it real. He could have, think about it, he had the money when he signed his deal. He could have went in, that should have, I'm gonna say that should have been the first thing he got fixed, but that could have been one of the things he first got fixed, but he said he liked it and thought it looked cool. And I felt like that really goes with his image too. You know what I mean? So he been dealing with it for all this time, so I guess he was like, whatever, you know what I mean? He wasn't even tripping on it. Man with the Kick says, Shoddy almost signed Fetty when 6ix9ine had a wave. My boy for my bad for the typo. Okay, got you. Yeah, I think I remember hearing something like that. Well, Fetty was going to sign with them, but I mean, at that point, I'm thinking he was probably done with labels, man. Hopefully. But then again, a lot of people say, like, you can get it all independent, but it's a whole lot harder than what it looks. If you get it independent, that means you got to hire your own team. And even if you say, like, I ain't going to have no own team, I'm going to just grind it out, put it all out myself. Eventually, when people start to book you and there's more money out there, you're going to be outnumbered. You're going to have to put something on the table. You're going to have to put something up. You're going to have to hire some people. And it can be done. But a lot of people sign back to the labels because that's what they do. That's why they take a certain cut, and that's why there's a 360 deal. Let's see. Trey95 says, I'm putting the thing on for 50 million. I'm putting the thing on for 50 million. Exactly. That's all I'm trying to, I'm not surprised. And I wouldn't judge you. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it was something where along the lines, like, this is a little bit off mode. But I remember me and the Goodfellas was talking about, like, would you wear a dress for 50 million? It's like, yeah, I would. I put that mug on, wouldn't even question about it, and I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna let nobody, I don't care. Ain't nobody finna trick me out of my anything. But I mean, 50 million is 50 million. If you're getting it cash, you know what I'm saying? And that's break it back down to these record labels. A lot of people don't want to sign. I remember, rest in peace to XXXTentacion. He was independent for a minute, and he signed. You know what I'm saying? It gets to the point where, they can definitely buy you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got a number. And I'm not saying these people got bought, but it gets to the point where, like, man, this is kind of like you've worked this hard to get this attention, and now you're getting what you deserve too. So I can see why a lot of people will sign a deal. You know, I can't fault them for something that I wouldn't that I would do. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to keep it like just to keep it 100. Your Slayer says money definitely talks. J Rod says record labels is like a person trying to buy a car with no credit. It's gonna be like 20 to 30% interest rate. Most definitely. And they know that when they walking into the game. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that when they walking into the game. Let me make sure my focus is straight. But yeah, everybody know that whenever they walk into the game. Yeah, I think I should be good now. But yeah, everybody know that when they walk into the game, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Some people like I don't mind signing a deal. They don't mind being in the debt to the label. They're living much better. You know what I'm saying? Some people and think about I'll tell you this, and not to pick on Fetty, because I don't think Fetty even probably said this, but when the money coming in and you hot, you're not thinking about that. You just thinking about living and enjoying the fruits of your labor. You don't really realize what you don't sign until, you know, the numbers start to go down a little bit. And let's just keep it 100. Nobody stay. There's an exception to every rule, but everybody has a slow down moment. You know, Wayne's the greatest of all time, but even he had a slow down moment. I'm sure Drake is probably the one with the longest run thus far. You know, and I feel like there's a formula to his madness. You know what I mean? The Slayer says even FedEx doesn't own every package they deliver. Prince, that's a fact. Let's see. Men of the Kick says 5-year signed for 5K. Oh, to Mace. Yeah. I mean, hey, if you ain't got nothing, bro, like, I mean, think about it. If you pretty much were, I'm going to just put it like this, and this is why I've been trying to tell you and Dunks, like, and just in general, if you're been grinding and find somebody notice your talent, and you also, like, say, like, you quit your day job and you go all in on music. Like, you living off your last bit of savings because you just that confident that you finna pop and you finna make those millions any day now. Eventually, you know, you got kids, you got a family, everybody depending on you, you the man and or woman. If everybody depending on you, yeah, when that deal come around here, you gonna thank you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. I need this up front already. You already got plans for half of that already spent. And $1 million, no disrespect, it's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money. You can blow through that real quickly because you'll be like, man, how do these people blow through millions? Real easily. Fetty Wap already said when he went shopping, he bought the whole crew everything. He would only get one thing sometime, but he got to get to take care of the whole crew because if not, he said everybody looking down upon you like because they can't do, you know, they're not doing that. So at the same time, yeah, that's what you got to think about. So this is the thing. If you don't take care of your crew, are you a bad guy? Are you a bad person if you don't take care of your crew? If you own and they're around you, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to get them a little bit, even if you give them jobs, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? They're going to want to be just like you, or you're going to have a whole bunch of people saying you changed. You know? Are you going to care? Are you going to let that get to you? Then the people that say you changed, then you got to really watch your back because now you're not really sharing and you being smart about your money, but you're leaving your crew behind. And we can take this to John Moran as well. You know what I'm saying? He young, but, you know, he's still around the crew. You know what I'm saying? They still, you know, everybody want to say he's blaming it on, you know, music and stuff like that. But, I mean, reality is it's deeper than that because nobody else in the NBA is really kind of moving like that. And I'm not picking on him either. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying you got to think differently whenever you made it to a certain stature. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to touch on some articles tonight. I think right now, the feds want Fetty Wap to get up to 9 years, man. And that's something I can honestly say, man. Then also, I'm going to say this where I want to just go on to this tonight, about this tonight as well. Fetty Wap, you know, goes from pretty much what he was literally rapping to now apparently, I guess he didn't want to lose his lifestyle. So, I mean, he went into, I guess, what he most likely may know best. I'm not saying he was slinging it before he got on, but I mean, he saw where, okay, cool, rapping ain't working right now, you know, because, you know, he said you would think the easy answer, like, just go make another hit, you know, because think about it. When he came out, I know he had 4 hits back to back on that joint, you know. Trap Queen was one of them. I still remember that joint, and he still was eating off of that. But, you know, like when if you don't keep up with the consistent hits, your price is going to go down what you charge for a show, you know. But then he had Wake Up, you know. That was a dope hit too. But at the same time, you know, you're going to have to, it's very hard to stay consistent And especially when Fetty Wap came out, it was like 2017 when stuff popped off. Actually, probably even before that. I want to say it was like 2015 through like 2017 was like his peak like time. And then it just kind of leveled out. You know what I'm saying? And if you already spending like you still making $100,000 a day, think about it. He said it out his own mouth. He was making 100,000. You know, yeah, of course. He said he had like 4 or 5 different spots in different states. Like he was good. You know, he always had a place to stay because he didn't like hotels. Man with the Kick says Mace got over Big Drip. The song did numbers too. Fabio fumbled the basket. To be honest, I would like to hear both of them sit down and have a conversation, Mace and Fabio, Manny with the Kicks, mainly because I just can't. I'm not saying it's not a thing, but I think that I wouldn't see Mace trying to screw nobody else out of a deal whenever he got screwed out of the deal with Diddy, allegedly. You know, how he feels about it. I mean, yeah, he gave him $5K, but I think like when they took it to a major label for him to get a but I'm almost positive May still get a cut. But don't quote me though, you know what I'm saying? Henry Kick says Trap King, Fetty Wap, new song, once had me out. Once he get out. Trap King, it's gonna be Trap King, Fetty Wap, new song, once he get out. I'm just curious because right now I think his lawyer is trying to push for him to get a minimum of 5 years, but it looks like the feds want to give him 9 years. I've always had this argument personally about people who hustle, who sell drugs allegedly, right? Should they be getting a crazy amount of time, right? And see, this is what the judge gets at and look like, you know, what you're doing was killing people. That may be true, but I mean, you're not directly killing people, right? Let's just keep it 100. I'm not here to defend the drug dealers, but I want to speak on how my mind see things, and y'all let me know if I'm crazy, right? And I'm definitely gonna touch on this Fetty thing, but this is my thing. They always say like the drug dealers, you're killing people. That's why I got to give you this much time. Like, no, this man is a businessman working in the wrong business. Fetty Wap definitely knows business. And can we say he possibly learned it the hard way whenever his music career kind of like fizzled out a little bit and then he went back to doing what he got to do? Because, you know, to be honest, it's still a business. It's just not a legal one. But at the same time, I'm going to just say this. Every drug dealer that I know of allegedly or that I seen, they wasn't in it to just they wasn't trying to like take people out as in like, you know, kill them, so to speak. And I hope YouTube don't flag me for that, but I don't think they're out to like say that. I think they're just trying to make some money. If the people are, this is my thing. If you're looking for a specific product, right, and y'all know what I'm talking about, this one drug dealer off the street ain't gonna do nothing but boost the next guy. And then it's like that's literally a true pyramid, because all it is that the person at the top eventually, usually the person at the tip top, it's really hard to catch them because that's the person they want. They want the person at the tip top. All the low hanging fruit, they'll grab those up, and then the people in the middle takes a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's impossible to stop that. You know what I'm saying? I will say this. I do, like, what is that? What state is that? Oregon went on and legalized all the other drugs. Let me just clarify legalized. From what I got from it, they legalized it where it's not like an offense. Like, you can't just have, but if you get caught with it, it's like going to be like a misdemeanor. You know what I'm saying? Which it is what it is. Because I guess they realize people just going to do it regardless. You know what I mean? So, more so, I always said this too. That's a route this country could try to take, because maybe if people use it a little more responsibly. Now, some of the stuff is just flat out bad for you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe if they get a little bit more involved with it, you know, who knows? But I don't think a drug dealer should be getting, unless they did actually take people out, not just off their product, but just in general, then maybe, all right, cool, maybe they deserve some more time at that point. But like I said, I've seen drug dealers get more time than people who've actually killed people. People who pled guilty and just went on it. And we'll keep in mind, Fetty Wap also pled guilty to this situation too. And usually when you plead guilty, you're asking for a lesser sentence. You know what I'm saying? But again, Fetty seems like always in good spirit, though. He just kept grinding. You know what I mean? He just one of those people, he had too many for the team. You know, you can't bring, reality is, moral of the story, and I can just go ahead and say that right now before I even start reading through the articles. You can't bring the whole crew. Like, you got to realize who your real friends are. You know what I'm saying? Was 30 people hanging out with you whenever you was getting in the stew and you was trying? I don't think 30 people fit in the stew, and you didn't. Most likely it took you a couple tries to make your hits. You know what I'm saying? That's why the crew, honestly, I would say 5 or less to keep it 100. But I think everybody goes to that phase where they do it. Man with the Kick says, shit ain't going his way, Fetty Wap voice. Most definitely. The Slayer says, Trap Queen was a meme song and Vine. That's still good for him, though. You know what I'm saying? If you get, especially if you make a hit where they use it in like a major, let's say, I'll say a good one we can think of, Wiz Khalifa when he made Black and Yellow. It was like a theme song for Pittsburgh, and it helps that he's from there. So I know that was a nice bag. Or if you make a good theme song for like a movie, that's a nice bag too. J Rod says, I used to work at a halfway house and talk to a drug kingpin from Oakland in the 80s. He did like 25 years since he didn't snitch. And that's the thing this another route we can take with Fetty as well. I'm glad you brought that up as well, J Rod. Fetty just pled guilty. And he didn't. I'm pretty sure some other people got caught with him, but he went on and just pled guilty for a lesser sentence because obviously, most likely, when he talked with his attorney, they most likely told him, like, all right, cool, they got this on you. Hey, take and we can say where Omni and the Hellcat did the same thing. Just go ahead and plead. Like I said, I lost all my cases as well, but I pled guilty. You can do that and not tell them, they sometimes they will they'll be a little bit lenient, like, man, this person is brave because they're accepting defeat and, they're accepting their wrongs. Usually there's some type of deal that can be made. And I think that's where Fetty and his lawyers up there trying to make a deal. And think about it, he's going to get time served because I'm almost positive Fetty's been locked up since 2021, but don't quote me on that. But if he's been locked up since 2021, it's 2022, 23. He already got 2 years down. They're going to give him time served 2 years. If she can get him at 5 and he only has to do I think you got to do 85%. So he can knock out another 2.5 years and be out, with a little bit of house arrest and, what I'm saying, call it a day. If you really, that's what he's looking at, J Rod says, James Beasley, look him up. Okay. I'll definitely do that. Not sure who that is, but you know what? I'll do it just because you asked me to. Is that the dude you're saying that did 25 years and didn't snitch? That's who it is? Okay, yeah, I'll look him up for sure. And then I'm going to share my screen real quick on this Fetty Wap situation, man. Appreciate everybody for coming through, in and out. Smash the like button, sub up, sign up for the Sold Out Discord as well. So, let's see. James Beasley, let's see. We got a lot of people up here. I'm probably going to have to get some a little bit more specific. I see something on YouTube says Mob Ties James San Fran JB. I'm assuming that's the guy you're talking about. But let me let me share my screen real quick on this Fetty Wap thing. I want to kind of just break this down. Boom, right here, sharing my screen. Yeah, man. So right here, Fetty Wap's lawyers push for a minimum 5-year sentence in drug case pointing to financial issues caused by pandemic. That's another thing I guess Fetty's trying to say. What I'm getting from this, Fetty is trying to say that when the pandemic hit, things slowed down. Now, ironically, right? At least he keeping it 100, because a lot of these artists were saying like, yo, we good, we still straight. We ain't missing nothing. We chilling, we enjoying it. Everybody was just acting like it was nothing, when the reality is like, y'all make, majority of these artists make money off of touring and stuff. If everything shut down, you can't go nowhere. Yeah, you finna feel it, especially if you living above your means, which majority of them probably are, Who knows? I don't know. Man with the Kick says, free Max, free Big Zoo, free Omni and the Hellcat. Has Omni and the Hellcat started his time yet? I know I think the judge gave him 2 months to just get things in order, which some judges can say, all right, cool, your time starts now. But I think his situation is a little bit slightly different. So I'm not sure. But yeah, free those guys, man. Especially the ones who's already been in there and done like over 20 years or done over 10 years. I think if you've done over 10 years and you know you're facing like a crazy amount of time, I think after 10 years you should be able to like, hey man, let me go. Let's see if this guy's made any change. See where his mindset is, man. I don't let nobody stay in there that long, man. And just unless they deserve it. Now, in some cases where I'm like, okay, I see exactly why you got all this time. J. Rod says, yeah, that's the guy. Okay, got you. That's what I figured. I got him up. I may look him up. I got him towards the end of one of my tabs, man. We're gonna be on this joint for about hour and 30 minutes. We already been on here for 30 minutes, man. So, just a kickback Monday for sure. Taking a little break from sneakers because, we got Yeezys expected at the end of the month. So, I told y'all, things are going to be on and popping this summer, man. I'm calling it right now. But I got this article from Complex, and then I know it looks like the New York Post did a whole like free for all on the whole situation. So I definitely want to touch on some of those topics. Fetty Wap's, and if you think about it, he's had a hard time, man. I know he's also lost one of his kids, like they actually passed away. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, and that brings me to another thing too. He has at least 4 or 5 kids. That man taking care, he doing what he got to do to take care of his family. Whenever he was getting it with the music, he was getting it with the music. But I've also seen it where Eazy was in the same predicament. R.I.P. to Eazy, where he went back. All right, cool. If I can't get it off the music, I'm gonna get it this way. They gonna live and survive. It says Fetty Wap lawyers push for a minimum 5-year sentence in drug case, pointing to financial issues caused by pandemic. The New Jersey MC pled guilty to conspiracy to possessions and dispute cocaine in August. So it looks like he wasn't just playing with the light stuff. He was with the real stuff. Apparently, and I don't know personally, right? And this is from May 19th, 2023. So this is a more up-to-date story. I said, I ain't never done all that, but I heard, people, it pays well, and I don't know. I'm just saying, I just heard. Fetty Wap's legal team is asking for a minimum sentence in the artist's federal drug case. As first reported by Billboard's Bill Dolhate, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, on Thursday, lawyers have asked for the minimum 5-year sentence following Fetty Wap's August 2022 guilty plea. So he pled guilty back in August 2022. And in recent filing, lawyers note the unique nature of Fetty's motivation in his actions, noting that he was pushed to make his terrible mistake due to financial strain caused by the pandemic. I have a feeling he was feeling it way before the pandemic, but at the same time, that was probably the dagger, the straw that broke the camel's back, because if you think about it, at this point, he can't even tour off his songs no more to do some shows, you know what I'm saying? Says, suddenly it felt like life was going in reverse, and he became ashamed when he began to struggle to keep up the lifestyle that he created so many. His lawyers have argued his judgment became impaired. Desperate to keep up with his financial obligations, Mr. Maxwell, which I believe his real name is Willie, became involved in the instant offense for a few months in the spring of 2020. So apparently he just started back in 2020. So I think once the music thing died down, he just went back to, he got into that. Man with the Kick says, thanks to Ye for reviving the sneaker community. I mean, I guess you say Adidas too, because they really had no choice. They didn't want to, but I guess we still got to give Ye the credit because his name is still attached to it, is why people care, So we definitely got to give it to Ye. Complex has reached out for a rep for Fetty Wap for comment. This story may be updated. So this is just the most recent one that's coming from Complex. I'm gonna close this joint out. Now I do got this one up from New York Post. Now this is like the whole like little timeline, like when it first like even boiled down. It says, let's see. First, he lost his 4-year-old daughter. This was in 2021. You know what I'm saying? So see the massive bounty of drugs and cash seized from Fetty Wap. So this is right here another like story we can pretty much show right here where this all kind of broke down, because this was in November 2021. Even though he pled guilty, but this is the big number. See the massive bounty. Okay, cool. So this is kind of want to read through this story real quick, because I think they caught him at the airport. You know what I'm saying? So let's see right here. Let me just get a little swig real quick. Says, Law enforcement officials released photos showing the bounty of cash and drugs were seized when they arrested rapper Fetty Wap on charge. He ran a multi-million-dollar bi-coastal drug ring. See, yeah, so I guess he was really that guy. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. I'm still doing these shows, but I got other things to do. The images released by Suffolk County District Attorney Office show 12 evidence bags stuffed with about 1.5 million in cash, broken down into ones, fives, 20s, and $100 bills. So they had 1.5 million on them. Sheesh. I guess Fetty really was in the big time. Manny says R.I.P. to his daughter. I remember hearing that a while back. Most definitely, man. I know that definitely sting. You know what I'm saying? He says over a dozen bricks of what appears to be cocaine and heroin are also shown in the images, some of which are marked with AC on top. Not sure what that means. Let's see. I'm not a drug guy. I'm gonna keep 100. A metal structure with pipes that resembles a mechanical pill press was also recovered by authorities following the October 28th bust, which brought its 16 kilograms of cocaine, 2 kilograms of heroin, and numerous fentanyl pills, two 9mm handguns, a rifle, a 45 caliber pistol, and a 40 caliber pistol and ammunition. So Fetty Fetty was prepared for whatever he was about to do. So this is the stuff right here they found up on him right here. Yeah. I guess they're saying this isn't rap money. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it is what it is. This my thing too. I got a question. If you were involved in this, y'all seen the movie Training Day? Whenever they discovered the money and then like they was like, yo, all right, cool. Remember, I think it was like 5 million. It's like, all right, cool. We just discovered 3 million. It's like, you just said it's 5 million. It's like, yeah, but they took a little off top before everybody showed up. Curious if they took a little off top. I mean, this is all cash. Are these marked bills? And before they mark them, I mean, who's gonna say if you're first on the scene? If it's you and your homies first on the scene, and you got them, and they cooperate, you already got them in handcuffs, or you don't took them out or did what you're gonna do, and you there to collect the evidence. I mean, one stack ain't gonna, you still coming up with a lot of money. That's why I couldn't do that job. Manny says, Shishi, Fetty Wap living his lyrics. I mean, some rappers truly do. But I'm going to just say this. J-Rod says Training Day is GOAT. Most definitely. But I'm saying, you see this type of money right here. I'm going to just say this. It's going to be hard to kind of say like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We slide a few in our own pocket. Let's see. The artist who bragged in 2014 hit song Trap Queen about cooking crack using the cooking pipes was arrested by FBI agents last week at City Failed Moments before he was slated to hit the stage and perform for the 3-day Rolling Loud event festival. Yeah, he did get arrested for that. He's facing federal charges out of the Eastern District of New York, allegedly operating the multi-million-dollar drug ring in Suffolk County with a cadre of associates between June 2019 and June 2020. So, I mean, damn, like, if he just started, they ain't waste no time. They just must have been, I ain't gonna say they was sloppy with it, but they must have just, like, not really, I don't know. I mean, I guess June 2019 for a whole year. They watched him for a whole year. I mean, ain't no telling when he started, but if that's all they got, then I guess it is what it is. I wonder why they let like people like Thugs case them go from like they've been watching them since 2015 till now, allegedly. You know what I mean? Just curious. The feds allege the rapper, whose real name is William, I thought it was Willie, but is William Jr. Maxwell, was a kilogram level dealer in the operation, which allegedly trafficked at least 100 kilos of fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, crack from the West Coast and sold the drugs in New Jersey and Long Island. So he was handling business through New York and New Jersey, apparently, allegedly. The rapper was detained in the federal court last week during a brief appearance, but he was released Friday on a $500,000 bond after agreeing to surrender his passport and submit to drug tests and GPS monitoring. Okay, so he posted bond at 500,000. So at one point he was out, but I think he had did something again where he had like got caught up. You know what I mean? Most definitely. So I definitely want to touch on some other stuff too. Let's see. Fetty Wap's released from jail after a drug bust. So then Fetty Wap performed for the first time since a drug. Then he said this is when he got arrested again for an outstanding warrant. I want to touch on this one as well. Because this is what got him right back in there. Like, this is what I like about the timeline of the New York Post. Manny with a Kick says, Fetty on Spotlight, he should let someone else handle the biz. This is true, Manny. You know what? You're so right. Like, reality is, he could have been like, obviously, this is what I'm assuming what he did, right? And I don't know. But this is what I'm assuming. He saw, hey, you know, the career, like, hey, things starting to slow up a little bit. I got X amount of left. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my money and invest it in something that I know I can flip back real fast to keep the lifestyle. Now, I'm with you on this one, Manny, where basically like, all right, cool. I know I'm the face of whatever I'm going to be the face of it. So you need to, all those people, those 30 guys, which probably half of them are probably gone now. But I say, like, you got to pick somebody else to be the face. You can be the front man. They going to have to get a big cut too. But you going to have to be the person that's still on top. But you can't be the person, you can't get your hands dirty. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like if y'all watch Power, right? How Ghost was with Tommy. Tommy didn't never change his ways. But, you know, if you knew Ghost, you know, he had like that two different personalities where you didn't know that's what he did until they always kept trying to pin it on him, you know, but he always escaped clean out of it. That's the type of thing where Fetty should have been a ghost, so to speak. Heavily involved, but shouldn't have been. And maybe that's his intentions. Maybe that's what the goal was, but it wasn't as smooth as he thought it was. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. But I think that's where you were probably trying to get at with it, Manny, for sure. Let me get back to the rest of this article real quick because this one is interesting. This is why I think he got arrested for like the second time. Let me share my screen. Boom. Says, Fetty Wap arrested at Newark Airport on outstanding warrant. So I'm very curious because he had to go back in at this point because I'm assuming they caught him again. This is after he had already bailed out, if I'm reading correctly. Let's see, because this was in December 2021. So he had got out. Says, rapper Fetty Wap was busted at New York Liberty International Airport December 17, 2021. Embattled hip-hop star Fetty Wap was arrested at Newark Liberty International Airport on an outstanding warrant Friday afternoon. Police said the Trap Queen rapper, man, they gonna throw that out there like nobody's business, whose real name is William Jr. Maxwell, was busted around 1:40 p.m. when cops were alerted to the ankle monitor notification. Oh, so see, he was on house arrest. He had the ankle monitor on, so what was he doing? Ankle monitor notification that showed he had an active warrant out of North Binghamton, New Jersey. Port Authority spokesperson Rudolph King told the Post. That's my thing. Like, I mean, I'm assuming he had permission to travel because I think he's got an ankle monitor on. You probably can't tell, but that's probably what it is down here by his shoes. Rapper Fetty Wap reportedly has an active warrant out of North Binghamton, New Jersey. Okay, so he probably didn't. I'm assuming he didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So they locked him up here. I see he's wearing the full cover mask. This is probably during peak of COVID times things too. He definitely dripped though. I mean, got to give him that. They said he was released on bail. He was released on bail. No bail amount listed and no mugshot. The spokesperson said the warrant was public nuisance. It was immediately clear what the charge stems from. Yeah, so they weren't even sure what it was. The musician 30 has been subject to GPS monitoring since early November, one of the conditions of his release of federal drug trafficking charges. So yeah, I don't think he's even worried about this charge, whatever the warrant is out on this. No public mugshot was released following Fetty Wap's arrest in Newark. Yeah, so he got arrested again, but I don't even think they make it clear what it was actually for. Yeah, it says He was arrested in City Airport. Allegations he ran a coast to coast. See, this is still kind of like from the same thing. So I'm wondering if they just like, I don't know why they locked him up again this time, which is kind of weird. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna keep going right here, and then I think this right here says jailed after arrest for threatening FaceTime call. So okay, did they let him go? Because I remember he did do something where he was like yelling at somebody over a FaceTime. I can't remember exactly what though. So I'm gonna read through this article. I like this one because it's breaking down the perfectly good time events, man. Y'all smash the like button, sub up. So it says rapper Fetty Wap jailed after arrest for threatening FaceTime call. I guess when you like on when you on like house arrest or you on like bond, you can't do nothing. I'm assuming, you know what I'm saying? And one thing you need to do, right? Let's just keep it 100. If you into any type of legal trouble, to keep it 100, and you know you out on bond, it may be a part of your job, but you need to stay the hell up off the internet. Only thing he should have been doing is making music, putting out music, and trying to collect the check somehow. As far as the social media joint, it's a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? Like low key, just use it for your music platform. You don't be on there threatening nobody. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta prove you're a tough guy all the time. Rapper Fetty Wap was jailed on Monday after being arrested in New Jersey for allegedly threatening to kill someone and flash a gun on a FaceTime call, federal authorities said. The hip-hop star, real name William Maxwell, okay, it's William. I don't know why I thought it was Willie. Maybe Willie is like his nickname. Had been on a $500,000 personal reconsiderance bond. Okay, on charge he had allegedly worked with a crew of 5 other people to traffic more than 100 kilos of drugs on Long Island. I'm assuming they got the other people. So if it's a total of 6 of them, I'm pretty sure they all face. He just happened to be the more popular one, you know what I mean? Or well-known one. He pled not guilty after his October 21st bust in the sprawling drug trafficking case. Yeah, he did at first, but I'm assuming he just went on and just said, hey, you can't beat it. Because now it said he don't plead guilty. Let's see. During a FaceTime call, Fetty Wap allegedly called an unidentified man a rat and threatened to kill him. So I guess they really take this rat stuff very serious, as they should. Man on the Kick says NBA young boy on house arrest and dropping music, but they got different fan base. This is true. NBA young boy, to be honest, he's been in trouble from the get-go out the gate. Anytime he did tour, he always got in trouble anyway. So it's like, honestly, they wasn't really making. They was making money, but it's losing money because he can't. You know, he just young and just I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Wilding. You know. See, prosecutors from the Eastern District of New York said the rapper violated the condition of release with the threatening video call on December 11, 2021, leading to his arrest on Monday. I mean, I guess, but I mean, it's a FaceTime call, but I guess why is it over the internet? You know, because I didn't think you could record a FaceTime call, but apparently you can. I didn't think you record the video, but I never actually tried either. The Trap Queen rapper rang up a man identified only as John Doe, meaning they're really not going to put the person's information out there, called him a rat and repeatedly threatened his life, according to the affidavit filed in the case Monday. So I'm guessing you can't even make threats whenever you are pretty much already pending case and on house arrest. So it says, I'm going to kill you and everybody with you, the Patterson, New Jersey native said, according to the court documents. He then repeated, I'm going to kill you. So I guess he was, I wonder if he was really serious about that life. I ain't know Fetty, he seems so chill all the time. Fetty Wap is out on bond charges, allegedly worked with a crew. Yeah, this is probably old. Says, this was a direct violation of both state laws and the condition of his release, and FBI agent wrote in the affidavit at the bail revocation hearing in Central List Federal Court. Judge Stephen Locke revoked the rapper's bond pending trial in the drug trafficking case. So I mean that he had to go back in there. Fetty Wap's attorney Elizabeth said her client was entrapped on the phone, call by someone who had days earlier posted a photo of his dead 4-year-old daughter. So, I mean, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? That's obviously I always say this, man. You don't come at people's kids, man. Like, and I've said this 100 times too. Even if you got beef with somebody, I know some this rule doesn't apply, but for me, this is just how I look at it. Like, if me and you got beef, if you see me with my kids or something, man, I feel like at that point, just send a signal to me, and like, cool. Once I don't put they innocent bystanders. And while this may just been over the FaceTime, it's like, yeah, who wouldn't kill for their child, because you love your child that much. So that's just something you gotta take into consideration. So that's that. I mean, I'm not saying what he did was right, but I could see how he could easily get triggered. I could see how I could easily get triggered. He was very manipulative in trying to get a rise out of Mr. Maxwell to allegedly him in a way no parent would have to face. The death of one's 4-year-old daughter is something no one should use as a ploy. Yep, that's what his lawyer told a judge. The judge said he was sympathetic to anyone who lost a child, but ordered the rapper to detain because he was clearly deploying a gun to threaten to kill someone. Yeah, that probably wasn't. Maybe if he would have just been saying it without pointing the gun, because maybe he shouldn't have been around the gun to begin with. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, don't go back and forth yelling at the phone at somebody in general, bro. Like, unless that person in your face, don't get. And I know it's easier said than done, but I mean, I'm pretty sure we all have done it, but I've yelled at the screen plenty of times arguing to some people before, man. But looking back on it, it's something I wish I wouldn't even, don't get that person your energy or your time. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it. Like, they're not going to, you can't, the worst thing you can do is just hurt your lungs or your throat, pause, and throw your phone or something. You know what I mean? Fetty Wap's daughter with singer Turquoise Miami Lauren died in July 2021 of complications caused by a congenital heart issue. Okay, dang. So yeah, that's what TMZ kind of broke out right there. So I could see why you would, like I said, he's not playing about his daughter, as he shouldn't, man. So pretty much, I think this is the one where he actually pled guilty right here, finally. So, and then we're going to touch on the last little ones. I think that I touched on this one or not, but it says rapper Fetty Wap pleads guilty to federal drug charge in New York. So he went on and pled guilty. And this was obviously probably, if he knew he couldn't beat it, and your attorney, I'm going to just say this. If you had an attorney, I've had 7 different attorneys, and it get to the point where it don't mean they're not a good attorney, but it get to the point where a lot of attorneys going to try to make you work a deal regardless. And especially if they know you ain't got a good chance to beat it, they're going to just go ahead and tell you off rip, like, hey, let me see if I can work something with the judge, this and the third. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised, right? Even though I know the feds are pushing for 9 years for Fetty, I wouldn't be surprised since he's been locked up already and he's already pled guilty. He's not giving this a hard time for them. Sometimes that stuff the judge take into consideration where he's like, okay, cool. You realize you've been beaten. You're not making us waste like a whole bunch of money of tax dollars, XYZ. So sure, here's, I'm going to give you a break, so to speak. And I don't care what nobody say. Like, if you've ever been locked up, I'm pretty sure even doing one day feels like, a long, like forever. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. When your freedom is taken away, you don't want to, you want to get out as soon as possible. Again, pleading guilty means he's accepted charges. Think about it. He could have had his attorney try to work a route where, hey, let me tell on some people this, that, and the third, but he didn't go that route. So you got to give him credit for that. I don't, at the time, what's the saying? Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. I hate to say it, and that's something I've kind of been applauding myself on for real. Like, that's why y'all see me out here just kind of staying low key, because not saying I don't done the time, but I don't plead guilty to a lot of stuff and spent a lot of money, and done some community service to, it's like I said, it's little things that you can do to work around it. But I wasn't doing nothing on their level, so I'm assuming, yeah, they ain't finna be no community service for this type of situation. You know what I mean? Rapper Fetty Wap admitted his role in the interstate multi-million-dollar drug trafficking scheme Monday, pleads guilty to a charge that carries a minimum sentence of 5 years in prison. So that's why he went on to plead guilty for the minimum of 5 years. And his lawyer at this point, her job is to really work hard to make sure he gets nothing but the minimum. You know what I mean? And to be honest, if, like I said, I think he's got a good shot at it because to the best of my knowledge, and I don't know, but he hasn't been found guilty of like, I don't know, like killing anybody. So I mean, at this point, he probably's got a good shot at those 5 years versus 9 years. Men with the Kick says, lesson of the day by Polo, don't do the crime if you can't do the time, being to the bong. Most definitely. That's an OG saying in general. If you already stepping into that lifestyle, and Fetty knew what he was stepping into. That's why he ain't really tripping. You ain't seeing him really crying. Like he taking it on the chin. Just like me. Like I took all my stuff up on the chin at the end of the day. You know, some of that stuff really, really hurt. But at the same time, anybody who asks me about it or the handful of people that know about it, which is mostly just my family of what I've been through, I never forget it whenever they be like, you know, you didn't do that all by yourself or this why XYZ. They'll tell me that, you know, within hopes to make me feel better about the situation. But reality is I just hit them back with, you know what? It needed to happen. It needed to happen because at least I can say, like, looking back on it, all that stuff sucks and I think about it each and every day. But I will say I learned, you know, I know one thing, not saying I won't ever get in trouble again, but you know what, man, if I'm finna get in trouble for the same exact thing. So I'm pretty sure, and I can't speak for Fetty Wap, but I'm assuming and alleged, right? When he gets past this little hump in his life, he probably gonna come out swinging with some hits, I would hope. Or I'll tell you this, if he don't come out swinging with some dope music, he ain't gonna go that route to get locked up again. I'll say that. Even Bobby Shmurda and them not trying to get locked up no more. You know what I'm saying? Now, we was expecting Bobby to come out swinging with some hits, but I mean, like, hey, the game changed now, you know? I think Fetty's probably got one. He's got that auto-tune singing type of style, and that's kind of what everybody's on right now. So, I mean, I could see him possibly making another hit. Let me hit the chat real quick. The hip-hop star, real name, Willie. Okay, there it is. I could have sworn it was Willie. They keep saying Willie. I think it's Willie. I'm almost positive it's Willie. Willie Maxwell II, 31, entered the plea deal to a single count of conspiracy to process and distribute 500 grams of cocaine before Judge Stevens, Locke, which is the last name of his lawyer, at the federal courthouse in Central Islip in Long Island. I agreed with the other people to distribute cocaine, he told a judge. Okay, so yeah, he's pretty much pleading guilty here. Now, how the judge looks at this, I don't know. Rapper Fetty Wap pled guilty in court, Long Island, to conspiracy, 500 grams. So he wasn't doing a small time. I'll say that because the feds don't come for the little guys. Like, you know, they'll get caught up locally. You know what I'm saying? But they want the feds are gonna always want the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? He added that it was at least 500 grams and that some of the conduct occurred in Suffolk County. Let's see. When asked how he'd like to plead, the Trap Queen rapper responded guilty. The charge carries a maximum sentence of 40 years in prison and a mandatory minimum of 5 years. Locke said at the hearing, no sentencing date was immediately scheduled. So, that's the gray area here where we're looking at. And you know what I don't like about the legal system? And I'm going to speak for myself. I hate that because I was looking at some jail time before too, right? And thank God that didn't happen. But let me put it this way. Like, I hate how low the minimums are compared to how long, like if you found guilty and you tried to really beat it and you couldn't beat it. You know what I'm saying? This runs up to 40 years. No, like, the man's not been found guilty of like killing anybody. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to, I think they don't look at I think it should be a different program, you know, put them through like some type of like business program. You know what I'm saying? Where, hey, you guys got business smart. You're just in the wrong business. So here's while you're doing your time, If you want to get out, this is what I would do. Cool, you want to get out early? I would make them take a few classes, or take up a trade on finances, where when they get out, they can make money, be successful, and not even look back this way of going this route. You know what I mean? And they could probably create something and be super amazing at it, because they definitely got talent. Man of the Kick says Bobby came out with hoochie daddy shorts and doing some pause moves on stage. I think, to be honest, man, we're gonna speak on Bobby real quick. I think Bobby was just happy to be the hell home. To keep it 100, Bobby said, "Fuck this. I'm just happy to be free. I don't care about nothing. I just want to be free." But Fetty them, I don't know, man. I don't see him getting 40, and they are pushing for 9. I think the judge, even if the judge, I think at minimum, I think he should go ahead and give him a minimum 5. But at the same time, worst case scenario, if I had to take a guess, worst case scenario, they'll hit him with 7, where nobody's happy, you know. But yeah, no sentencing just yet. But I'm guessing it's coming up pretty soon, because we do got another article I want to touch on. Let's see. The plea is standard, and the rapper is not cooperating with the law enforcement. See, this is where the no snitching part comes along. He didn't cooperate, because think about it. If he would have took a plea deal for the 5 years, or maybe he would have been out, they probably wanted him to give them more information. This is why your boy 6ix9ine got out in 2, and everybody else is still sitting there, because they just pleading guilty for a lesser sentence plus taking a plea deal. 2 different scenarios. I've never took a plea deal or anything. I literally have ended up just pleading guilty each time. All my cases I lost, because I ended up just pleading guilty, because I'm like, damn. Well, you know, and the thing is, sometimes they don't even offer a deal. Because my stuff, some of it was like, they know XYZ involved, but they don't have any evidence to go after them. All they had was me. All they had was my name or me up on it. So at that point, it was up for me to connect the dots, and I just, you know what, fuck it. It's me. You know what I'm saying? I just literally just took it on the chin. And looking back on it, they wouldn't have done it for me. I know they wouldn't have done it for me. But it's all good, though, because I don't rock with none of them people anyway. But I just know then, like, not everybody built for it, you know? Let's see. Let me read the rest of this real quick. It says, the plea is standard, and the rapper is not cooperating with law enforcement, his attorney said. Told reporters in the hallway outside the courtroom. He is not cooperating. I want that to be very, very clear, she said. Because she knows when he come out, if it shows that he's cooperating, he can't come out and rap the same stuff he was rapping about and expect a reaction to his fans, you know, because he still probably got a core set of fans here. And to be clear, you see what happened when 6ix9ine pled guilty. He came out swinging, but I mean, to be honest, he gotta go a whole new market now. And Fetty, you know, he know eventually he gonna get out. You know, I think he's in high hopes and positive spirits. It sucks being down there, but he knows pleading guilty wasn't gonna help him for the long run, or he gonna be right back in the same situation. Man with the Kick says, pass on the Gunna deals. That's what you calling them, the Gunna deals? I feel you, though. I feel you all the way. Let's see. The New Jersey-born rap star appeared jovial in the courtroom, and before the judge took the bench, he repeatedly nodded, smiled at, and exchanged words with his group of 4 people who came to support him. He's pretty much his family. I think his girl was with him, and probably, I would assume, probably his mom and stuff like that. But I don't think they have like actual like who was actually there. But I'm almost positive probably some close family members if I had to guess. But he said, I love you, Fetty Wap told them before being ushered out of the U.S. Marshals following the hearing. So his family members are still there. He pretty much let them know, yeah, you know, I'm sorry. That's his nice way of saying I'm sorry, but y'all know I was just trying to do what I got to do to keep everybody living good, because everybody got comfortable living that lifestyle. So he just really wanted to make it stay that way. Federal prosecutors say the rapper was involved in a scheme in which he and his cohort picked up cocaine in Suffolk County and moved it to his home state of New Jersey to distribute. Damn, they even catch him like working in it? I mean, if you just have it, but I guess you're not supposed to have it at all, especially the amount he probably had. Prosecutors Chris Colfine told the judge that the U.S. Attorney Office would provide significant evidence if the case went to trial, including witness testimony, video footage that showed Fetty Wap out here in Long Island. So I'm assuming, was Fetty doing the dirty work too? I mean, yeah, and Fetty, I'm pretty sure they probably already showed him and his attorney what they had on him, where it's like, hey, yeah, just go ahead and, hey, man, yeah, it is what it is. Locke noted, which this is his attorney said, during the hearing, the prosecutors had not given Fetty Wap a 5K letter, which are usually handed to defendants who cooperate with law enforcement in an effort to get them the lower sentences. Okay, that's what a 5K letter is. So pretty much he already made it plain and clear he wasn't cooperating, so he didn't even get he didn't even get a deal. The musician has been held at a special housing unit at Brooklyn Field Jail since he was reprimanded into custody 3 weeks ago, his attorney said at the end of the hearing. Okay, so he's been locked up. When is this article from? So I believe this, because this is when he pled guilty. So this was back in August. So pretty much, yeah, he's been locked up since August of 2022. So, yeah. So, homie, yeah, I know whatever it is at this point, he just want to go ahead and get it over with. And you'd be surprised how many people actually go ahead and plead guilty. Casanova went on and pled guilty as well. He didn't snitch. He just went on and took his time and called it a day. I mean, if that's how, sometimes that's just how the game go. The charge has a minimum of 5 years. We read that one. Maximum of 40. Let's see. His lawyer said she was very concerned about his housing and that he was subject to a harshest of the conditions. Okay. She requested he be transferred to another jail pending sentences, to which the prosecutor did not object, but said the decision ultimately rests with the Bureau of Prisons and the U.S. Marshal Service. So I guess he want to get to a better prison, if that makes sense. If that even a thing, which I've heard some of them prisons are pretty like disgusting and not really in great livable conditions, but it's prison, so you gotta kind of expect that. Now I have seen some prisons where people living. I'm gonna put it this way: I had a family member that recently just got out. I mean, when we talk to this person, they be like, "Yeah, I watched a fight. I did this, that, and the third." I'm talking about pay-per-view stuff in prison. So, and I'm talking about they wasn't in jail; they was in prison. And I'm like, "You what, man? I didn't even break the bank for that, and I know you ain't got it, but I mean, they was watching the fights in there, according to them, Let's see. His lawyer also asked that the rapper be given an expedited sentencing date because of the conditions at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Fetty Wap was recommended into custody weeks after the feds discovered he allegedly threatened an unidentified man on a FaceTime call. He alleged flashed a gun during the December 11, 2021 call and told the man, "I'm going to kill everybody with you." At the bail revocation hearing in August 8th, Minato said her client was entrapped. Okay, yeah, we kind of read that part. It says, "I'm happy she's dead because her father is a rat." So somebody thought he was a snitch. You know what I'm saying? So, cool. Let me touch on this last little part of the article. We've been on this joint for an hour and 15 minutes. Y'all smash the like button, sub up, and then we're going to close things out for the night here. I want to touch on this last article real quick. So, rapper Fetty Wap should be sentenced up to 9 years in drug case, feds say. So, let me just see what this is, because they're pushing for 9 years. His attorney wants 5. Personally, I think he's got a good shot with the 5. And like I said, he's been locked up for like almost over 2 years, so he's going to get time served. New York prosecutors are asking a judge to sentence rapper Fetty Wap up to 9 years behind bars for his part in a bi-coastal drug ring, labeling him a large-scale narcotics trafficker. So the feds want 9 because he didn't cooperate, and his attorney wants him to get the minimum, which is 5. Look at it this way, right? And this probably doesn't sound good either way. At least we know one thing. He's not getting the maximum 40 years. He's not getting the maximum 40 years. So he's still in the single digits, even if the judge goes with with the prosecutors and give him 9 years, which I don't think the judge is going to give him 9 years, especially if he's been behind bars, not causing any trouble and just staying low key. He's most likely still got a good chance at the minimum, I think. No Hype says, I couldn't handle being locked up because I love to eat bum food. Yeah, that's another thing too. One thing that one of my family members was telling us about too, I think that was their major complaint. Like, it's just that they already had like kind of like stomach conditions in the first place, so that's just something they don't need to go to. So that was one of the main reasons. That's all they asked that we do was like keep them, where they could get, because apparently you can buy different options of food in there. I don't know, I never been, but yeah, they didn't want to eat the actual prison food, which I can't blame them, but I'm not sure. Some tells me it's not a full course, 5-course meal. You know what I mean? The hip-hop star, whose real name is Willie Jr. Maxwell II, pled guilty in August in the Central Slip federal case, accusing him of planting 25 kilo of cocaine in New Jersey early in the pandemic. The 31-year-old trap queen Reimer Patterson native copped the one count of conspiracy to process and distribute more than 500 grams of cocaine. So pretty much, yeah, I think he's going to be in. He's 31, so if he still do 5 years, he can still come out and still have a rap career. You know what I mean? Will he going to have to work a little? Honestly, he can do a great first. If he really puts out a good first day out hit, he can come out swinging. See, that's something that Bobby Smurder didn't do, was a first day out. I think it's almost like borderline mandatory that people do a first day out whenever you're when you're coming out, man. That's just how I feel about it. Like, I don't know. For me, whenever a person gets locked up and then they get out, I'm like, cool, what that first day out, though? You got about 72 hours. You need to be, I know you need to go, handle some business with your boo, chill, spend some time with your family, but after that, you need to be in the stew. That's just how I would do it. Says he's facing a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 40 years at his Wednesday sentencing. He's been locked up since August. So, yeah, I think they'll also give him time served, because keep in mind, before then, he was on the house arrest joint too. So that's got to count for something as well. Because, I mean, you're basically still under like very supervised and strict conditions. So I'm almost positive his lawyer's pushing for that, to count that all as time, Prosecutors want him behind bars for between 7 and 3 months and 9 years. Okay, so they want him behind bars between 7 and 3 months and 9 years. Okay, so I guess, yeah, the prosecutors want to give him a maximum of 9 or at minimum 7. His lawyers push him for the very minimum of 5. Maybe the judges be like, all right, cool, give him 6. I mean, sometimes that's how it could be, but you don't know what the judge, man, I'm telling you, judges change like sometimes. And every time I've had a cool judge, I'll put it this way, while I didn't lose, but whoever I was facing against, they ain't do none of them either. You know what I mean? Versus compared to what I got. But, I ain't gonna bring my own situation. Mine ain't on this level. The rapper was accused, along with 5 others, of driving to Long Island roughly 6 times, buying cocaine by the kilo, and then reselling it in both the Garden State and New York in spring of 2020. This is my thing. Why don't they got these 5 guys, right? And this is funny how the law is. Why don't they go after the people that they bought it from? Because, I mean, clearly, if y'all know where they're getting it from, why don't we hear you talking about the bigger, quote unquote, drug lord? You know what I mean? Like, clearly, I'm not saying Fetty them ain't at the top, but I mean, everybody whoever they getting it from, their supplier, that means they got to have way more than what they're buying. You know what I mean? If you're a supplier, because that's how it basically is. It's kind of like a little pyramid thing. So, I mean, obviously, why don't they go after the person at the tip top? And maybe that's why Fetty went on and just pled guilty, because probably that's what the prosecutors most likely probably wanted him to do, is like, okay, cool, 2 years. They probably give him the 6-9 deal. They'll say, all right, cool, we'll push for 2 years, time served. You'll be out in no time if you tell us where you're getting this from. We see it's coming from here, but who is the head honcho? Because they know most likely the people that they're getting it from directly from it's coming from somebody big. The people that's probably helping them load it up, they're small fish too because they work for the head honcho. But who is the head honcho? And they don't probably not wasting time with those guys because those guys are the people that just do the dirty work. They're not actually hustling themselves. Fetty is part of the hustle group, you know? Um, he was arrested in October 29, 2021 and had been free on bail until he was accused of violating conditions of his release by waving his gun at a person during the 2011-2021. So, yeah, he didn't wait. He didn't stay out long on a FaceTime call, calling a person a rat and threatening to kill him. Maxwell took part in a massive drug trafficking organization that flooded Long Island as well as the surrounding areas with tremendous amount of controlled substance, prosecutors said in a Thursday letter to the judge. The feds claim Maxwell has admitted selling crack cocaine before in 2014 in New Jersey. So, okay, he apparently was doing it back in 2014, and that he continues to use his fame, sizable platform and influence to glorize the drug trade. The court rappers, this is paper say that's not fair. They're using his lyrics to get him. That part is not cool. Don't use a man's lyrics to get him. You know what I mean? That's kind of one thing that hip hop has been pushing now to stop people to stop trying to use their lyrics against them, and that's what they're kind of doing with Fetty Wap right there. That last part I'm not really a big fan of. Let me hit the chat real quick. Says Aaron says they probably want to wait before they make an arrest on a drug lord until they have a solid case. The amount of resources these groups have make it very difficult to bring the main guy down. This is a fact. You're probably right. That's why I said this. I'm pretty sure he probably could have give up some information, but I'm almost positive he probably don't even know who he may know of who the main drug lord is, but he probably him and interacting with him probably is almost next to never. He's almost most likely just interacting with the people who do the dirty work, so to speak. You know what I mean? Let's see. Even Maxwell in 2014 hit Trap Queen. That's what they're using. They're still kind of they're using the lyrics indirectly, which rocketed him to fame. Was written about an ex-girlfriend who helped him sell coke in Patterson. Prosecutors say. See, that shouldn't even, they should, that judge, that right there, judge should stop them. Like, yo, I don't care what he said in his music. You know what I mean? Unless he openly admitted that said he like killed somebody or something, and this story leads down a full breakdown of like, hey, yeah, this is did it, and this is what I did, and this is how I did it. Then no, you know what I'm saying? It could be something he just rapped about. He could have just thought of, you know. But in papers filed Wednesday, Maxwell's lawyer, Elizabeth Macedona, says asked the judge to sentence her client to a minimum of 5 years, claiming he's accepted full responsibility for his crimes and that his conduct here should not define him. That's a fact. His lawyer said Maxwell had a hard life between getting bullied from having only one eye. Man, these attorneys will do and say whatever they need to try to help you out, though. I ain't gonna laugh at this part though, but it says between getting bullied for having only one eye and growing up poor in his crime plagued hometown that led him to do drugs and live out of the car before he hit it big. So at one point he was homeless, living out the whip. You know what I'm saying? And that's you gotta really believe in yourself to go. A lot of people was living out the car. We can think of some comedians, and we can think of Tyler Perry. At one point, Tyler Perry was living out of his car before his shows and stuff took off, and before he became, now he's in the billionaire status. We can think of Steve Harvey. He was living out of his car telling jokes for a minute too until his stuff popped off. Because they was, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying these are some people that was literally living out the car until they made it. So I guess Fetty Wap, according to this, he was living out his car, you know? His lawyer said Maxwell is now a devoted father to his 9 children. Whew. I thought he had like 6 or 7. He says devoted father to his 9 children. 9. By 7 different women. Oh, it just gets, I ain't here to judge, but 9 kids, 7 different women, and that when he became financially successful, he helped to support all his friends and families and kids. That part I believe. So at point he probably wasn't tripping over all the kids he had, because I mean, at that point, if he was on child support, I mean, he obviously was paying it. When the pandemic hit and his income dropped and imminent halt in performances, Maxwell turned to selling drugs to maintain his lifestyle, and everyone he financially supported, his lawyer wrote. So, I mean, it's a good approach. I don't know how the judge is going to look at it. But 9 kids, though, I didn't think it was that many. Damn. Not here to judge, though. Hey, that man just handling business, you know? Around this time, Maxwell was also going through a divorce, and his manager was allegedly stealing money from him. I forgot he had got married to old Shawty. He did. I forgot, which everybody knew that was. Now, that one definitely caught me off guard. While the bills kept coming in, the money to pay them was running out, his lawyer wrote. Suddenly, it felt like life was going in reverse, and he became ashamed when he began to struggle to keep up his lifestyle. Before Maxwell was arrested, his close friend was fatally shot, and his 4-year-old daughter died, he wrote. At an August hearing, his lawyer explained that Maxwell made the threatening FaceTime call after someone posted a photo of his late daughter, and the caption says, "I'm happy she's dead because her father is a rat." Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I think he most likely will get the minimum. I'm hoping. Worst case scenario, 7 years, because that's look like what the prosecutors, they want 9, but they'll settle for 7. His lawyer's pushing for 5. I'll say worst case scenario, he's going to be looking at 7. That's still a lot of time, though. Don't get me wrong. That is still a lot of time. I'm not saying, don't make me sit up here and make me think I'm like saying like it's nothing, because it's definitely something, man. Since his arrest, he has worked extremely hard to set money aside for his child support obligations. How did I not know? Yeah, think about it, because that thing is, even though you locked up, they don't stop it. I mean, you just can't, and they can't really do nothing to you because you already locked up. Let's see. His lawyer said, adding, he has taken all the gigs could save and prepare for time in jail. So yeah, he did all he could do to prepare for this situation. During his incarceration, she wrote, Maxwell has been subject to the hardest of conditions brought on as a result of institutionalized incompatience, cooperations, and the coronavirus pandemic. I mean, she's trying to do her best to get him the minimum. And honestly, I think, if he hasn't got any real trouble in there, I don't see why not give him the minimum. You know what I mean? The prison has refused to put Maxwell with a general population or provide him with a CPAP machine to help his sleeping apnea. Okay, so he has sleep apnea. I did not know that. Let's see. 3 years has passed since this crime was committed, and Maxwell realizes his terrible mistake and he is truly sorry for the loss and hurt that he has caused. So, reality is, I'm glad we read this last little part, and we're going to close things out here for the night. But so it looks like the lawyer is pushing for him to serve 3 years, time served 3 years. So if you think about it, if she can get him at the minimum 5, right? If she can get Fetty Wap at the minimum 5 years, he gets time served for 3. That means he only got to knock out 2 more years. Sounds like it's still a lot, but I'm saying 2. If things work in his favor with pleading guilty and the judge cut him a break, I think he can, once it's all said and done with time served, he knock out 2 years. Honestly, that means he could probably, granted, he probably could get out on house arrest then, but if not, he just stay in there for a whole nother year, and then he probably let him out a year early for good behavior. I think that's what the attorney is trying to push at him, she's trying to get him out as soon as possible. And that's pretty much should be the goal of any attorney if you're working in those type of situations, man. But salutes to everybody for coming through tonight, man. Salutes to Fetty. I do hope the best for him, man, because, man, I really hate to say it, but I really hate to see these type of situations come about, man. Especially when Fetty, at one point, man, the guy could not make a hit, So salutes to Fetty, his family, his 9 children, and hopefully once he gets past this, because I have a feeling he's gonna get past this. Hopefully once he gets past this, man, we get back to getting some like great music, and he gets back on the right track and finding other ways to make money in business as well. You know what I'm saying? You can rap too, but you can definitely probably find more other business to invest in. So hopefully you find other business to invest in and get back on the right track. And I know his family miss him, and I definitely was debating on touching on this topic tonight, but I'm like, you know what, we want to, over here on Music Mondays, I want to touch on a little bit of everybody, man. I don't want to just always touch on the drama. I want to touch on just a lot of things. Definitely me and Dunks definitely got to touch on the Diddy situation and just in general how Dunks feel about Diddy. So I definitely want to touch on that. But other than that, man, I've been on this joint for an hour and 30 minutes. Appreciate everybody for coming through, showing love. Smash the like button, sub up to the channel if you haven't done so already, man. Sign up for the sold out Discord that is pinned up at the top. It is free to sign up. We talk sneakers, we talk music, we talk sports, we talk food, we got on feats, we got a little bit of everything in that joint, man. So sign up for the sold out Discord. It is free. You will most likely get a more faster response out of me over there, but definitely still comment on my videos as well. And y'all sign off in the comment section, man. Show the boy some love. And I will be back on Wednesday with another sold out live, another sold out podcast. Appreciate everybody for coming through tonight and kicking it with the kid. So other than that, man, I'm gonna close things out. Of course, my name is Jeremy Jones. Y'all know I make content about sneakers, occasional trial hauls. This is Music Monday, and we're officially out this thing, man. Peace.